Hello, this is Gary Westby, champagne buyer with K&L Wine Merchants, here today to talk to you about Champagne Laurent-Perrier and their iconic Laurent-Perrier Rosé. Perhaps the most famous of all the wines made by this great marque. One of the things that I love about Laurent-Perrier is something that I love about a few of my favorite Grand Marques, and that is that they are not in Reims or in Epernay in the cities, but rather in the vineyard. In the case of Laurent-Perrier, if you go from Epernay and you take about a 12-minute drive to the east, you arrive in Tours-sur-Marne, and they're located right there in Tours-sur-Marne. Additionally, this wine is sourced from just 10 vineyards, or 10 crus rather, one of them being Tours-sur-Marne, Bouzy and Ambonnay, and Louvois also featuring in heavily on that south-facing slope of the Montagne de Reims. The wine is entirely made from Pinot Noir, and unlike the prevailing style of rosé champagne, which is made by taking a majority of white wine and then blending in a small amount of dark red wine, this is done with a maceration of all the skins with all of the grapes. So over the course of 48 to 72 hours, depending on how ripe the harvest is, all of the Pinot Noir skins are in contact with all of the juice in this wine. And what that allows them to do is to have a final product that has more complexity and also more richness. The real miracle at Laurent-Perrier, though, is how well they manage it and how elegant they manage to keep the wine, even though it is entirely macerated with all the skin and all of the juice. It's actually a bit of a secret how they do it, and I've never, although I've been to Laurent-Perrier more times than I can count, I've never been to their facility where they make the rosé. They keep it well under wraps. So let's check this out. The color that you get from a straight skin contact maceration wine is, I think, always more interesting than what you get when you mix red and white together. But you can see it's not a dark wine at all. It's still a beautiful rosé color. Another thing that makes this wine special is the aging. While most producers' rosés are sold quite young, this one has a minimum of 5 years of aging on the lees in the 750 and a minimum of 6 years in Magnum, which really, to me, adds a tremendous amount of that lovely bready complexity and richness. But it's also partly the reason why it's such a beautiful pink color, because color tends to precipitate out. All the color compounds in the juice will fall into the lees, and you can actually see in clear bottles, if you go to the cellars in Champagne, clear bottles that are aging Sur-Lie or are Sur-Point with all of the lees down in the neck. You can see how dark it has become. Let's take a quick taste. I mean, this has just got that beautiful Frais de Bois aroma of ripe wild strawberries, and it's really anchored by a sourdough toast that you can't cheat. You have to keep it for time in order to get that. The texture, the bubbles, absolutely perfect, spot-on champanization, and a very nice, crisp, refreshing finish. The dosage hovers around 9 grams per liter. Obviously, that's also a ballpark that changes, depends on the disgorgement run and on the base wine. Oh, this is such a treat, and I hope that I'll be having a glass with you again in person soon. Cheers.